right, welcome everybody. Hello, hello. 안녕하세요. 나는 키트입니다. I am your professor, 교수님입니다, for the semester of spring 2021. So welcome to Ulsan University. Welcome to your first semester of university. Hope you have a great experience. I know it's going to be tough because we are online, but we'll try to have some fun and we'll try to make it an interesting class. Hopefully you can meet some new people and make some new friends. All right, so today what we're going to do is we are just going to walk through the syllabus a little bit. I'm going to give you some class information, and then towards the end I'm going to share some information about myself, and I'll talk about your expectations for homework, and all of that kind of stuff will be in here. I'm going to go through this PowerPoint presentation, but you can follow along. I will post a PDF file of our syllabus onto UClass, so please go there and find that, and you can follow along with this. It won't take too long, but all this information is very important. So 집중하세요. 감사합니다. Please pay attention. If you have any questions, please email me, or you can ask me in week 2 during our Zoom class. All right. So 가자, let's get started. All right, so welcome everyone. This is our English communication of spring 2021, like I said. So first things first, we do have a Corona situation. We're still going to be online for this first semester, so English communication course will be online. We'll be using Zoom. If you haven't used Zoom, please go ahead and download that. Get comfortable with those controls on Zoom. It's very useful, and I like using Zoom, so that's good. We'll use it and make it fun. It's not too difficult. And also UClass, get comfortable with UClass, finding your activities and things in there. All right. So here is UClass. This is kind of a basic little example of what your class might look like, and here's going to be the course summary area, and I will put some information in this area, basic information like syllabus, your textbook reference, and some PDF files and those kinds of things. And then down here you can see week 1. This is where I'll be posting your links to Zoom, as well as your homework and any other documents or things that are important just for that week. All right, so that's basically UClass. You can navigate around there and find your information. Next, we are going to be talking about my information. So I am your professor, like I said. 나는 키트리처입니다. Yes, I know it is difficult to say, 어려워요, but you can just call me Mr. Richer is fine if you want to. Here is my email. This is on your syllabus as well, just englishprofessorkeith@gmail.com. You can email me anytime. I will reply within 24 hours. And my office hours, official office hours, are Thursday from 1 to 2 p.m. if you want to talk to me. Or you can always just send me an email and make an appointment, and we can schedule a time to talk if you want to do that. All right. So how to contact me. We just kind of talked about this. The best way to contact me is going to be email. So UClass, you guys use UClass. I use UClass, but for messaging, it's really horrible. 싫어요. 짜증나. It doesn't work well. It doesn't give all the information, so please don't use UClass to message me. Just send me an email. That'll be great, right? So UClass, it doesn't give me your name or your student number in full, so it's really hard to know. The best way is to send me an email and include some information in your email to help me understand who you are and what you are asking. So for example, the email format. This is what you should send me in every email. You need to send me your subject, right? Your reason that you are sending me an email, your name, right? So I know who you are. In Korean, 한국말로 is better because that matches the 출석부. It is the same. 똑같아요. 좋아요. And then your student number, of course, and then your class number. So here's a list of some classes that I have. So please find your class number and include that in your email so I know who you are and which class you are in. That is very important. I have over 300 students, so it's very hard to know everybody's name and every class they are in, so please give me that information. So here are a list of the majors and the class numbers. With that, you'll have this information as well. Please remember your class number. And just again, remember to send me some information in your email, your reason for the email in the subject line, your Korean name, your student number, and your class number. 제발 감사합니다. Please do that. All right, so your materials for this class are going to be several things. Most will be online, but you will need to buy a book. Book is going to be the most important. It is Evolve 3, printed by Cambridge. All right, so that's the book you need. I will post a photo of that. You do not need the workbook, right? You don't need that. 필요 없습니다. Just the student book. And then UClass website, which we talked about. You will be able to navigate that yourself. And then you will need a Zoom account, and I recommend getting some headphones, and you will need a camera like this guy or something on your smartphone, tablet, laptop, and be able to show video and listen. Earphones and microphone is very important. If you can't hear well or other people can't hear you well, it makes it really difficult to have class. And then the discussion workbook, which will be a PDF file, I will post that to UClass as well. And then also the expressions workbook, a PDF file, I will post that to UClass as well. All right, 갑시다. So here's a photo of the textbook. You can see it is Evolve 3, student book. It's published by Cambridge. And it is just the student's book here. Be sure to buy the student's book. That's going to be the one that you need. All right, so grades. How will your grades be determined? I'm sure you all want to know. So here we have your grade pi, the variations of how your scores will be calculated for your final score. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. So first of all is going to be attendance. You are expected to come to every class. To get 1 point for your attendance in each class, you do need to come on time. All right, homework. There will be homework almost every week. So, well, maybe not every week. About 10 weeks you will have homework, and you will need to complete that homework on time. That will be posted in UClass. Participation will be 10%. You are expected to have conversation, to talk with me, answer questions, ask questions in the class. This is the most important part of your score because it really makes a difference between a B+ and an A. You need to participate. This is not a class that you can just be quiet and say nothing and be silent. It's not possible. I expect you to speak with me and to speak with other students. Don't worry, your English doesn't have to be perfect. Just don't be shy. This is not a test about your English skill, but you do need to speak because it is a conversation-based class, right? 맞아요? So participation is important. And then expressions quiz will be a short quiz towards the end of the semester, worth 5 points. Mock TOEIC test will be worth 5 points as well. Now this is an option. You just have to take it. If you take it, you get 5 points. If you don't take it, you don't get 5 points. It is just your option, and we'll talk more about that later in the future. Role play project, we'll talk about that. Midterm exam will be a speaking exam. Video project, and the final exam will also be a speaking exam, and that's it. So a total of about 100 points. So your end of semester grade ranking, the most important thing that you care about. Teacher, I want an A. Well, this is how you get an A. You have to have a high rank in the class, right? So it depends on your rank in the class what your final grade for the semester will be, okay? So only a small amount of students will be able to get an A grade. It depends on your rank in class after your final grade has been calculated. That is university policy, so please remember that moving forward. For example, right, see, you can see here that we have some students, right? So even though their score was 88, 85, they still received an A grade because of their rank in the class. This is just an example. This is not real. But then you can see down here some B scores, and then you can see down here some C and D scores. Even though this score was 80% B, they received a C+ because of their rank in the class. So please just keep that in mind. right, so this is going to be where the end of part 1 is. Please go to the next video, which will be posted, so you can just follow along and we will go into the next part of the class. Okie dokie, good. See you in the next part. Oh, hello there. Let's continue into part 2. We're talking about our points for the semester because this is very important for your score, especially at the end of the semester. So again, 다시 집중해요 because this is going to have a determination on your final score. So let's go. All right, so like I said before, number 1 is attendance worth 10% of your score. Now you start with 10 points, you can lose points if you are absent. If you are late, that could be -1 point. If you are very late, that could be -2 points, so please arrive on time. And if you are absent 6 times, you fail the class. You are automatically going to receive an F grade. So please remember that. 6 times unexcused absences, that is a fail. You have failed the class. There is nothing we can do about that. So please remember that. All right, so sometimes you have okay absences, excused absences. For example, if you go to the hospital because you're really sick, or if you go to the military for some training, or you have some official department reason, that is okay. Those are okay reasons to skip. And you must send a note. So I need a note from you in email form. It needs to be signed by somebody, your doctor, your superior officer, somebody like that. So please send me a note in email soon, right? So send me an email. You must send me a note within 2 weeks of the absence. All right, so 2 weeks later, after that, I cannot accept rejection on that note. So please keep that in mind. All right, so just remember important things. If it's 6 unexcused absences, you're going to get an F grade, and you must send me a note for an excused absence. Attendance. I will take attendance every day at the beginning and at the end of class just to make sure everybody is there. So you will get 1 point for each attendance score. We're going to be on Zoom, so I need to check your speaking, your sound, your video. So please, when I say your hand, raise your hand and say, yes, teacher, I am here, right? So when I say your name, just speak clearly, speak loudly, let me know that you can hear and see me and everything is okay. So I can check your volume, your microphone, and your video before we start class. Okie dokie. Late policy. Now we are on Zoom class, so you know it is pretty easy to attend Zoom. If you do need to go from home to university or university to home, that could be difficult, but there are university computer rooms that you can use, right? So if you are late, please don't be late, but you could get minus points. You know, if you're 5 minutes late one time, that's okay. If you're 10 minutes late, that's going to be -1 point. Basically, you're absent. If you're 15 minutes late, that's going to be -2 points. Just log on to Zoom early, 2 minutes before the start of class. Get yourself ready, and we'll have no problems. If you are late, if you come to class late, you have to tell me, please tell me, so I change your attendance from absent to late. I want to change that so you don't get minus points. So please tell me if you are late. All right. Participation. Very, very important. This is 10% of your grade, and in order to get participation, you have to interact. You have to speak. You have to speak to me, you have to answer questions, and you have to speak to your classmates. It is very important. So you need to have conversation, answer questions, ask questions, free talking time, those kinds of things. So the points you can get, minus points also, right? If you are just not focusing, if you're sleeping, if you're using your phone, speaking Korean, distracting other students, that's going to be a minus point. So please don't do that. But if you are answering questions, having discussion, conversation, answering my questions, asking questions to me, I'm also speaking in this class, so you do need to ask me questions as well. That's going to be good. 좋아요, plus points. Participation, just have to explain this. It is important, right? So if you're sleeping and you're feeling sleepy and you're not really focusing on class, that's very easy to notice. That's going to be a minus point. Right? And if you're looking at your phone, you're scrolling through Instagram, checking out the updates, that is also going to be a minus point. So please be careful about your phone and how sleepy you are. Speaking Korean is obviously a minus point. This is going to be an English class, so please reduce your Korean to a minimum. All right, so if you are speaking Korean during our discussion time, that's going to be a minus point. 아, 진짜? 진짜. 진짜요. Participation, again, how to get a plus point is you answer questions, right? If I ask a lot of questions to the students, I want you to get involved with me and have conversation. Very simple questions, but it shows that you are paying attention and it shows your effort. That is going to be a plus point for participation towards your 10-point score. All right, so homework. Homework, you will have homework every week. It could be a speaking assignment or it could be a writing assignment. You will need to check the specific weekly information and follow the instructions posted for that week on UClass, which will give you that specific information for that homework. 1 point is possible for each weekly homework assignment. You can get minus points for low effort, incomplete content, or poor quality, right? Because this is a subjective score. It is not a finish or didn't finish. It is not a complete or didn't complete. It is a subjective score on a range of the quality of your content. Okay, so you do need to do good content. Now the deadline, very important, right? The deadline is going to be at midnight before the next class. So before the next class day, that's going to be at midnight, right? So if your class is on a Tuesday, your homework is due Monday night at 11:59 p.m. before the next day starts, okay? So please remember that. We'll talk more about that later. Those are the two most important things, all right? And I do have to give you a warning. Please, please, please do not use papago. I know you have papago 친구 있어요. 근데 하지 마세요. Please do not use papago in your homework. That is going to be considered cheating and that could get you an automatic F grade. It's just not worth it. It's not that difficult of a class, so please don't use papago. Okay? And here's an example of a video recording posting into UClass. Right, so you make a video recording and you will post that for part of your homework. Sometimes you will need to make a video recording, so you must show your face, you must be speaking clearly with good sound, and please check your file to make sure your file is correct and there is no problem. All right, so the deadline, right? So the homework deadline, like I talked about before, is going to be at midnight the day before the next class, okay? So basically at that final hour of the day, the final minute, you must get that finished and submitted to UClass. If it is not posted to UClass, it is late and you will not get points for it. So please remember that. We will have two projects in our class. We will have a role play project and we will have a video project. So those are both 10% of your score. Role play is pretty simple, pretty easy. You're going to write a short conversation with a partner, 2 or 3 people. You're going to create a little conversation and you are going to perform that. And then the video project, you're going to make a short video about a topic that you are interested in. And you're going to create a script, do a little bit of acting or just some presentation. You're going to record and edit that and post that to UClass. Those are the 2 projects. All right, so some other points to remember. there are the expressions quiz, which will be taught every week, and there will be a quiz towards the end of the semester. You just have to take that quiz, and you take that quiz and you can get up to 5 points for that. If you don't take the quiz, that's going to be 0 points. And then the mock TOEIC test. Mock means kind of practice, 연습, right? Fake. So it's 5 points. Students can receive 5 points. If you just take the test, your score doesn't matter. It's not important, right? So just take the test, you get 5 points. If you don't take the test, it's 0 points for your score. Exams. So talking about the exams, like I said, there will be 2 exams. Both of those are speaking. One will be the midterm and one will be the final exam. It's a speaking test. Both of those are worth 20%. And that will just be 2 people plus me, in a Zoom classroom, a Zoom room, and you will be having a conversation with another student. And I will be listening to that conversation, checking your skill. That's it. It'll be related to topics that we talked about in class. So don't worry about that. We're going to be practicing for these types of quizzes through a lot of conversation in the class. All right, so our class goals, pretty simple, right? We want to improve your English ability, conversation and discussion, a little bit of writing as well. Make some new friends, right? This is our opportunity to meet new people because we will have a lot of conversation in this class, more than any of your other classes. So please use this opportunity to make some new friends, get to know some people, and have some fun. Don't be shy. This isn't a test. We're not testing your ability. This is just a class for your opportunity to increase your ability, to improve your English ability. So don't be shy. Nobody is judging you. Nobody is going to be thinking about your skill. So let's just have fun. Everybody's on the same level here. Everybody be respectful and we will have some fun. Okay? Yeah. Class rules, a little bit more serious. English only in this classroom, please. I will give you some times to speak Korean, but most of the time we will be speaking in English. Do not use a smartphone during class unless it is for Zoom. I don't want to see this, right? If you are doing this, you are not focusing. So please just focus on class and not your smartphone. Participate. You need to have conversation and interaction with other classmates, and no distractions. When using Zoom, please try to be in a quiet place so you can focus, right? Coffee shops are not that good. Coffee shops are very loud. All right, so please be someplace with good lighting, good sound, someplace that you can relax and focus. And remember, no cheating. Cheating is an automatic F grade, so please don't do that. Like I said, don't cheat. All right, our schedule here, this is the just general schedule that we'll go through. This will be posted on UClass where you can check it out if you want. So we have, week 1 is going to be today, and then you can kind of see we have a unit and a homework most weeks, right? And then we also have our role play preparation, and then our role play, and then the midterm. So that's halfway through the semester, and then again we go back to units and homework, unit and homework, and then we'll prepare for the video, we'll do the expressions quiz, we'll do the video project, and then the final exam. Week 15 is a makeup week. In case we have a holiday, we will need to do a makeup class for that. All right, so let's move straight into it. We're just going to keep going. Chugging along, we're going to talk about Zoom. So hopefully everybody has used Zoom before. If you have not used Zoom, don't worry, it is not too difficult, but you do need to get an account and start playing with the controls and things like that. So let's take a look at Zoom class. So this week, week 1, will be YouTube video, which we are doing right now. That's all we're going to do. Please check UClass for more information. And then week 2, 다음 주에, we are going to be using Zoom for our class, for the majority of the classes. So Zoom is a great software for video conferencing and education. I really like it. So you just need to get familiar with what Zoom is. Zoom, we can have up to 50 people in a classroom. I think our class will be about 20 to 25 people, so a lot of people. and I will put you into separate rooms of 4 people or 3 people or 2 people for conversation time, and then we'll all come back together. Right, so I recommend using some headphones if you have. Something with a microphone would be good so that you can hear and speak clearly. And there's a lot of people, right? A lot of people in the classroom, but I can see everybody. I have 2 screens, so it's easy to see everybody, and there are ways to raise your hand and chat and respond, all of those things. So Zoom is really a great tool. So please download that, get an account, and I will send you a link for the first class. Some controls. Like I said, please check out the controls in Zoom. Over here is going to be your microphone settings. This is where most people have a problem with sound. So you need to check your microphone setting. If you are using a microphone or not, please check that. Check your video. And here you can invite people. Here's the participants. You can share your screen. There's a chat feature. There's more features. And here's where you exit the meeting. All right, so down here, the next one is what a lot of the students will be using to reply to me. This is the most important one, which is the raising of your hand. That puts up a little blue hand icon. I can see that immediately, and then I can ask you or help you if you need. And then there's more ways to respond to what is going on in class. You can give thumbs up, thumbs down, baksu cha, all of these things. So please just download Zoom, check those things out, just really get comfortable using those so that the first class goes pretty smoothly. All right. This is what it will look like for our Zoom discussion time. I will usually put you in a group of 4 people, and you are expected to have conversation, to ask and answer questions that we are talking about in class to your classmates. And it's pretty simple, right? You just go around and have a conversation. So you can ask different people different questions, but you should be speaking all of the time, right? So just go around, ask each other questions from the discussion workbook, and have some fun. This is a time to get to know some new people. So don't just do it. Use this opportunity to speak English as best you can and to meet some new people, right? And then in week 2, that's what we will be doing, is we'll be doing that on Zoom class. So create a Zoom account, log into UClass, and then go to the link that I will post on UClass, and that'll take you directly to our class. Okie dokie. Now we will also be using Band. So Band is a communication platform from Naver, just a chatting application. I'm going to be using this for the students, right? Just for the students, not for me. I want to give you guys an opportunity to communicate to each other. If you have a question, you can send a message and talk about the class. This is student-to-student communication only. If you have a question for me, do not send me a message on Band. All right, please always email me if you have a question about the class or the content. All right, so please remember that. So that is the end of the information for the class. So that's basically it. We've covered the syllabus, talked about some things. I will post some information to UClass as well, and then next week we'll talk about it a little bit more. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and end that video here. I'll do a little bit of a self-introduction about me so you guys can get to know me a little bit, and then I want to know about you as well. So for now, that's it, guys. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you got some good information. Please email me if you have a question, and I will see you next week in Zoom class. All right? See you then. Bye-bye.